You're watching EVH and Gear TV, brought to you by Stewart Travel Guitars. See the incredible stowaway travel guitar at stewartguitars.com. Microphones for EVH and Gear TV are provided by Rode Microphones. And official Van Halen merchandise is provided by VanHalenStore.com. Here's your host from Ontario, Canada, EVH artist Eric Broadbent.
Happy Thursday evening to you. Happy Thanksgiving to my American friends, all of our American friends. I hope you're having a beautiful pre-Thanksgiving, getting ready for a great dinner, spending some wonderful time with your family, loved ones, and all that good stuff. And I want to thank everyone that's been sending us Thanksgiving wishes. And a lot of people don't know that we live in Canada, if they can't tell by my accent. But it's still very nice that they do wish us happy Thanksgiving. And I just, instead of saying, oh, I live in Canada, it was in October, I just graciously accept the well wishes and say thank you back to them. So I hope you're all having a great Thanksgiving weekend. And if you notice me playing with my ears here a little bit, I'm trying to use my in-ear monitors again tonight because they sound really fantastic if I can keep them in my head. I got my headphones ready to go over here just in case. I plan on doing maybe a little bit of playing tonight just because I'm in a very, very good mood. This is it's a really cool moment today for the family, not for me. And when I say family, I'm not just talking about myself, Nocturnal Butterfly, and Eric Jr. here. I'm talking about us. We are a family. We're a Van Halen family, and other people that have joined on the show here with the other programs I have. We're a big family of music fans and TV fans and all kinds of cool stuff. So I'm sharing this with all of you, and all of you made this happen. A lot of people jumping in right now. This is fantastic. I really, really appreciate it. I hope everyone is well. I have a big, long list of thank yous tonight. So we reached 10,000 subscribers on the channel today. I knew it was coming. I was, forecasted, you're looking at your numbers and your analytics. It was looking like probably for a while there, it was looking like January. Then it started to look like late December. And I launched a new program on the channel recently, probably, I'm going to say about a month ago, called Rocking Dead. It's a Walking Dead related program, right? And that just kind of blew up, and it was a little bit more popular than I was ready for as far as the videos or the views and things like that. And I think that's what kind of just pushed us. That plus, a bunch of other things as well too. It happened a little quicker than we thought. So it's one of those things where you're trying to be prepared for it, and get your thank yous in order and things like that. And it's a lot harder just to come up with the thank yous than you'd think. So we're going to try to do some of that now. And I'm going to come over and say, you know what? No, we're going to start with the most important. We're going to start with people here that are actually watching right now. And I'm going to say hi to you first, because I appreciate you taking your time out on this weekend. Well, it's not the weekend yet, but you know what I'm saying. And I'm saying it kind of feels like a weekend because tomorrow is a like what we call here in Canada, PA day or PD day or whatever. So the kids are off of school. So it feels like a weekend already. I'm almost in weekend mode. Sean Close was the first one here. Says, you're the best #1 channel in my opinion. I really appreciate that. Transector says 10,000 subscribers. Congrats. Will Dunham is here. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to probably change these in-ears soon. They sound so nice, but I just can't keep them in my head. Will Dunham, Don Campbell. All right, congrats to the whole team. Up next, 100,000. EVH from Will Dunham. Jenna Lee Murray is here saying congrats to the whole team. Medicine Man Yeet from Yeehaw from Arizona. Greetings, happy Turkey Day. Jeff Russell, 10,000K. I remember when you had 500 subs. This is awesome. Okay, I'm going to take these out right now. I can still talk without them. I can't hear myself at the moment, but I'm going to switch to headphones in a second. Well done, Hemi. Eric. Yeah, Eamon Wyse is here. Blimp has 10K. Congrats, Eric. You rock, brother. Thank you so very, very much. Well done, Ham. EVH. Insomniac Matt. 10K hype. Quentin James. Hey, kids. Scott Corner. And you know what? I'm on top chat. I need to switch to live chat. I'm going to do that in a moment. Hopefully I can catch up with everybody. Scott Connor, Paul Glover, Mike Francis, Cran, I think it is. Congrats. Brad Hale. Congrats, Eric. Thank you, Brad. Eamon Wyse. Congratulations, Eric. Nocturnal Butterfly as well. Quentin James, 10,000. Thank you. It seems weird saying that. Ripper says, stupid question, but is this channel affiliated with EVH, the brand? A little bit. I'm not. I almost said I'm not endorsed by EVH, but yes, I am endorsed by EVH Gear. But it has nothing to do officially with the brand. It's just I'm on the artist roster, and that's the only connection to the brand. Hopefully that helps. You'll see lots of EVH stuff on this channel, that's for sure. Gary Holt is here, and there's going to be a mention about Gary Holt tonight. You hear me say Gary Holt's name a lot, and we're going to talk about something very, very special that Gary has helped arrange here. He's become a very good friend, and I appreciate you tuning in, Gary. We're going to talk about something really, really cool tonight. And speaking of Gary, I'm going to just put a little bit of a teaser. I'm going to highlight his name so I can remember this. I'm drinking a special Tim Hortons blend tonight, and it's not coffee. We won't say what's in it, but I'm celebrating a little bit tonight. And I almost had something very, very special to celebrate and toast with tonight, but that's coming soon, and we're going to tease that up with Garry here in a little bit as well, too. Let me see here. Mike Francis, even Canadians can be thankful. You guys are awesome. Nocturnal Butterfly, my beautiful better half, and she's definitely in the top of the list when we start off here with the thanks, because if it wasn't for her, I just would not be doing this. I really wouldn't. And she, not only does she encourage it, she pushes me to do this, so I love that. I love that tremendously about her. Les Bellin, hello Rockers. Happy Turkey Day, USA Rockers. Paul Glover had Nocturnal Butterfly. Quentin James, Canadian Thanksgiving was several weeks ago because they use the metric system. I love it. That's great. That's kind of maybe a little bit true. Scott Connor, that photo of the cookies on Instagram looked mighty good. Let me see. I scrolled too fast. Let's see if I can catch up. Guitar Lessons 360 song. Congrats, man. And Insomniac Matt, you can probably keep those in-ears with some duct tape. Yeah, Canadian hockey tape or duct tape will work. Jeff Russell, I sent Eric a happy 10K milestone riff. All right. That's right. I can't wait to check that out. I saw the message here tonight. Todd Graff, very cool. Eric Ron Sokolsky, congrats, Eric. Thank you. Dave Lucy says, great show. Keep on rocking. Thank you, Dave. Dave and I go way back. Let me see here. Fred Siegel, congrats, Eric. Thanksgiving all. Yes, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Let me see here. No, not Scotch, Quentin. I'm having a good old beer tonight. I'm not going to lie. I'm having a nice little beer, and I'm enjoying it. I just don't like to show it on the air. It's just something I don't like to do. And she is a keeper, Quentin James. That is for sure. Okay, so let's have a sip of my Tim Hortons coffee. And I want to start into some thank yous. And then I'm going to get some. I'm going to just kind of highlight where Les Bellin left off. He says, congrats, Eric, you rock. Okay, so please bear with me. This isn't 1 million subscribers. But to me, it is. It feels like 1 million subscribers to me. I have I admire a lot of people on the internet, and I will be mentioning some of those guys and girls here soon. Some of them have like the hundreds of thousands and the 200,000s and the millions and stuff like that. Congrats to them, and congrats to the people that have 50 subscribers out there. If you're pushing your thing out there, you're pushing your brand, and you got 25 subscribers, 50 subscribers, or 5 million subscribers, don't stop what you're doing. Just keep on going. And I'm just as happy for those people. Like Nocturnal Butterfly, she's building her channel right now, and it's taking off. And we as a family, we need to populate her channel together a little bit more. But I'm proud every time she gets another subscriber. I'm like, yes, we share that. I'm like, yes, way to go. And you reach 5 more and 10 more. It counts. Every step counts. And I don't value tens. I don't value hundreds. I don't value thousands. I value ones. That's how I count my subscribers. So when I'm counting ones, every single one of you are very, very important to me. And I mean that, and I will always remain that. That will remain true to me. Okay, so bear with me while I do this, and I also want to try to highlight where we're at so I don't miss anyone in the chat. Okay, special thanks, okay? Some of this I'm going to be reading verbatimly. Some I'm going to ad-lib here a little bit. And if I've missed anyone, please, from the bottom of my heart, please forgive me. It's so hard. I put this together like this afternoon. This is tough to get everything together in a very short time. Normally when I plan my shows, I plan a week in advance for the next show. So this was done like a few hours ago. So Sandra Lee, as a lot of you know here in the chat, Nocturnal Butterfly, and to Eric Jr., both pushing me into getting into YouTube. And Sandra Lee for not only the push, but the drive and the countless hours of assistance she puts in. She is a keeper of all keepers. I got to be careful because I'm going to lose her to other channels. We're getting a lot of comments how Nocturnal Butterfly runs a pretty tight ship, and she does. She's a great captain of this ship. I'm just the guy on the mustache on the camera. She's the one who runs this channel, and I'm proud to take advice and encouragement and suggestions and all kinds of things. Sometimes I don't agree with her, but when it comes down to the end, she's always right, and I love it. She's a good judge of character, and that's helped me out a lot as well too. Okay, so next, another very important lady in my life, no longer in my life, but someone that deserves a thanks, is my mom. My mom, Shirley, who I've written a song about. She was the catalyst to getting me to continue with music. Supported me, loved my music, even though I was making those horrible noises, with slide guitars and distortion and stuff like that in the bedroom. She's out there doing the dishes and washing the dishes like I was making lullaby music, like a music box. She's great. So I would not be playing for her. And this is a funny thing as well, too, the little side note and so I am a mama's boy, and I've said this before, too. I'm not afraid to admit it. And if someone comes up to you and says, hey, man, you're a mama's boy, you tell them, here's what I tell you to tell them. Come back when you have an insult. There's nothing wrong with being a mama's boy. You know what I mean? I can hold my own, but I'm very grateful for my mom. And hey, I'm a mama's boy. I would not be talking to you guys right now and girls if I was not a mama's boy. Eddie Van Halen. Eddie Van Halen. I get emotional saying that name because I love the man to death. Without him, I would not even have this channel. He's not only inspired me to play guitar, he's the reason why I'm still playing guitar. I mean, Eddie freaking Van Halen, man. I know it, and I also know that he's more than aware of this channel. I can't go into all the details of that, but trust me, he's more aware of it than you know, and I'm blessed beyond fortune. I'm blessed beyond fortune to have his kind of awareness. We're going to call it awareness for tonight of the channel. Eddie Van Halen, thank you, sir. Thank you so very, very much. I've met you a few times. I look forward to meeting you someday again. It's been a long time. I'd love to do that again. So thank you, sir. Thank you, Van Halen family. Thank you, Wolfgang. Thank you, Janie. Thank you. Thank you, Valerie. Thank you, everybody. Valerie and I talked back in the day. You know, thank you so very much. Thank you for the years of music, and thank you for inspiring us to do what we do. Our show sponsors. This is really cool. You know, like I started off, I remember I got my first show sponsor when I had 300 subscribers. And I remember that very, very well. I remember 300 subscribers and I remember 700 subscribers really, really well for some reason, because I don't remember doing a big thank you video at 300, but I remember doing a big thank you video at 700. And 700 just seemed like, wow, this is so amazing. 700 subscribers. At 300, Van Halen store come on and sponsored the show, and have been with me ever since. That's a long time. It's almost 3 years in January. So 300 subscribers, they come on board. So Jeff Hausman, Van Halen store, Van Halen news desk, I love you and the families very, very much. Thank you so very much for taking a chance on me and believing in me and, excuse me, and remaining with me and with us, with the family. Appreciate that. There's some really, really cool stuff coming from Van Halen store. Excuse me, I'm getting hoarse already. This is going to be a rough one. I'm sure everybody's seen that new little miniature. I can see the mini guitars up there. I've got the new 5150 guitar coming, which is going to be pretty cool, and a couple new Van Halen shirts and some other surprises that aren't even in the store yet, which I can't talk about yet. But when I get the green light from Jeff, I can show you, and you're going to want to get them. Okay, let's go back. Let's do that all over again. Well, we don't have to do it all over again. I mentioned Van Halen store. This is not an... Yeah, actually, they were... That's right. We're good. We're good. It's all good. Eric's good. Van Halen store was the first one that come on. So they're not in the order, but they're in the order of how they come on. Rode microphones. What I'm speaking to you with right now. The studio is filled with Rode microphone product. I love them to death. They came on very, very shortly after Van Halen store. And I have a very good relationship with Rode. The fact that I've had other microphone companies, 2, 3, 4 companies contact me over these past couple of years saying, Eric, would you review this microphone, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And even one of the other companies I work with that provides lighting for me here, I'm going to speak about them in a moment. They have sister companies who make microphones. And they're like, hey, Eric, I'd like you to do a review on this light. Can you do this light? And we've got one of these microphones we'd like you to review as well, too. And I said to them, thank you. The lighting I can do for you for sure, but I have to very politely pass on reviewing the microphone. Now, I know Rode would not be upset if I reviewed another microphone, and a company, and we talk about this, myself and my guy at Rode, and they would really have no problem with it. But I just have such a great relationship with them. I really value the relationship. I choose not to. And I think they respect that in the long run as well, too. So Rode has been very, very good to us here on the channel. They're making our sound good. That's very, very important. I can't thank them enough. So, and no, when I'm thanking Van Halen store and I'm thanking Rode, I've got one more person to thank as far as a sponsor. I'm thanking all you guys and girls as well, too, because if I didn't have the audience that I have and the cool people that I have in the chat, I certainly wouldn't have the Van Halen store. I certainly wouldn't have Rode, and I certainly wouldn't have my next sponsor, who's the premier sponsor of the show, is Stewart Guitar Company. Jim Reed we did an interview a couple nights ago. He's been on the show multiple times, 3 or 4 times. We're talking about the Stewart travel guitar, the Stowaway. Fantastic guitar. So we did an interview, was it last night, I think it was, and it's been pre-recorded. It's going up on the channel tomorrow, 9 o'clock Eastern. It drops, and I really encourage you to check this video out because It's talking about something that goes live at 12 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow. It's something pretty cool. I guess I got to stop where I'm getting ahead of myself, and because I'm so gung-ho and excited, I might spoil something. So there's something really cool coming tomorrow. Okay, watch 9 o'clock Eastern. Watch that. It's already scheduled. It's ready to go. So Stewart Guitar Company is my premier sponsor. So I'm very, very blessed. Stewart, Road, and Van Halen store, kind of Van Halen news desk as well too. Same company. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I hope I hope I haven't. Let me see if I have all highlighted. I don't want to miss anybody. So we're going to continue on. Okay. More important people to mention, our channel moderators. Anytime you see someone in our chat with a wrench, like Nocturnal Butterfly has one, you'll see a few other people. Terry has one. Carlo Santin has one. Those are our moderators. Those are people that are friends and fans of the show. Friends and fans. Friends first. Fans maybe secondary, things like that. They help, if anytime some trolls come in or nasty things come in and people just get a little out of control, they've had too many beers or whatever the case may be, they're kind of the referees that take care of the stuff. So I don't have to see that kind of stuff. And it's very, very few and far between here on the channel. I think we run a really good family-friendly, program. I don't swear on the show. The odd time I might slip. We try to keep everything clean in the chat, all that kind of stuff. But if anything goes kind of awry, Carlo and all those guys are doing a great job. There's other moderators as well too, but these Carlo and Terry are the ones that are pretty much here every single week on Helix Hour, on EVH, on Rocking Dead, on Kramer Corner, and I'm not centering anybody else out, but they're the ones that make their most free time and are here. But all of our moderators, thank you, because I just couldn't do it without you. I certainly could not, and I'll never take credit without it. So thank you, our channel moderators. Okay, now I have a lot of good companies I want to thank. These are companies that have been, in one way or another, affiliated with the show, continue to be affiliated with the show, and just support what I do here. And there's some good people here too. So I want to read you this list, okay? Frank and staff at Line 6. I love the staff at Line 6. They've been so nice to me. They're just good people. They actually care about the family long before they care about the show. They love the shows and stuff like that, but they care about our family and how we're doing and things like that. And the feeling's mutual. We talk about family a lot. So Frank and the staff at Line 6, the Rode Microphones team, as I mentioned, Jeff at Van Halen store, EVH Gear and Fender, of course, been with them since 2008. Jody Page at Peddle Snake, we've been together since 2005. I love Jody to death. He's treated me like amazing. I love you, Jody. Adam Reaver at fu-tone.com. Adam and I are brothers from another brass block mother. We go back to the year 2000 with my band. He's been there. He's been in my corner all the way. He's a guy that would take a bullet for me and I'd take a bullet for him, so to speak. I don't want any bullets flying, but you know what I'm saying. Maybe take a punch. I love you, Adam. Thank you so very, very much. We've had a long relationship, and I can't wait to meet you again at NAMM. I haven't seen you since Winter NAMM 2017, so I can't wait. Rick and Joanna at Idea Bench, a family company. Idea Bench makes, in my opinion, one of the world's best pedal boards. They're a little pricier than the average pedal board, but there's a reason for that. It's a one-time buy. You buy these pedal boards, they will last you your life. Some of you may have seen my pedal board where it opens up like a hot rod hood, like my Camaro and stuff like that. Very, very cool. And they're again, too, their family. Most of these people I'm mentioning right now, we talk about life more than we talk about gear. And that's a fact. And they're good people. Mark and staff at Strymon, they've been very good to us here as well, too. The Strymon relationship all come about with Pedal Snake and Idea Bench and Strymon. We're a family, kind of a trifecta of families there, too. So Strymon's been very, very good to us here. I want to say a huge thank you to Yoshi and Jeff at Boss. Boss has been amazing to us here on the channel. Got to meet finally after, having, Yoshi and Jeff on the show before. I got to meet them at NAMM, and it was amazing meeting Yoshi. He's like, I'm 6'2", and he's like towered over me by 1.5 feet. It was pretty amazing. The photo was pretty cool, but they're really, really good here to us on the channel. And there might be some surprises coming with Boss too. That's all I'll say. Let's continue on. Perry at Personas. Personas is the company who manufactures my mixer. If I was to switch over to this camera, let me see here. Would it be this one? There we go. You can see it a little bit right there. And not only are they, in my opinion, one of the best mixing consoles, especially for what I do. Let's go back to the chat for a second. I had a problem a while back. Some of you might have noticed that. My mixer blew up. No fault of Personas. It was a fluke. Things happened. It literally went pop, pop, like cap guns going off and smoke come out on either side. I had a new mixer about 4 days later, brand new, shipped to me before I even had the return. Well, I did have a return envelope, but UPS didn't come to pick it up. I had the new one before the other one went back. So Personas, Thank you. You are in conjunction with Rode and in conjunction with Line 6 from this whole trifecta of audio that gets out to you guys and girls. I couldn't do it without you. We're getting there. We're getting there. And I'm not in a rush either. Rob Cunningham at Daddario. Rob is just a fantastic gentleman. I don't endorse the brand. You know, I'm not an artist on the Daddario brand or anything like that, but they've been very kind to me with strings and cables and things like that as well. I'm using the Planet Waves cables. I'm using like the tuners as you see here. I'm using all those things. I got the tuner pedal on the pedal board. Daddario, I think, is just an amazing company. And I was watching back one of my shows today just for a funny reason. I was watching the interview I did with Ian Thornley and Sean Tubbs, and all three of us were talking about the NYXL strings. That's all we use, the three of us. That was a fun conversation. So thank you, Rob. Jim Reed at Stewart Guitar, as I just mentioned. Jim and I are new friends now, and we have a working relationship together, and I really enjoy the friendship. So Jim Reed. Band Industries and Roadie Tuner. Roadie Tuner makes that robotic tuner, which is very, very cool. They've been very kind to us here as well. So thank you, Roadie Tuner. Carrie at Eastwood Guitars. Eastwood makes the airline guitars, really cool guitars. You might be able to see, you can see that white one kind of right there. You can't see much of it. That's Junior's Eastwood Airline, but they've been really good to us here as well too. So thank you, Carrie. Looking forward to meeting the team there. Carrie may not be at NAMM, she's telling me, but she may. But the team's looking forward to meeting Junior and I, and we're looking forward to that. So hopefully she's there. The staff at Barefoot Buttons, thank you very, very much. They provided the personalized EVH and Gear TV barefoot buttons that are on my pedal board and now also on Helix. So thank you so very, very much. Eric Sands at Positive Grid. You know, everyone hears me talk about Line 6. I love Line 6 to death, but I got to give credit where credit is due. I did start with modeling on Positive Grid software using Bias Effects, Bias Amp, even Jam Up Pro on my iPad and things like that. Eric Sands is a friend of mine on Facebook. They make great stuff. I just happen to been using Line 6 a lot more these days, but I did a demo one day. It was kind of neat working the best of both worlds, no pun intended. I used Bias software. What was it on my Mac? No, sorry. I forget what I was using, but I used the Bias amp thing. And then I went out to my power cab from Line 6 and it sounded phenomenal. And as we're speaking, I just got a text message from Jim Reed. I'm just going to see if there's anything I can say on the air, or maybe I can save it. Oh, this is cool. I can't share it at the moment, but he's sharing an artist with me, Dale Herr from Sony Nashville and the Stewart Guitars. So he's using the Stewart travel guitar in the studio. I'll come back to that at another time as well too. But thanks, Jim, if you're watching right now as well too. Let me see here. Continue on. Scott at Jim Dunlop. Been very, very good to us here on the channel. I've been a Dunlop artist since probably 2000, and I'm going to say probably somewhere around the same time as the EVH relationship, 2008. I'm going to speculate at that, maybe a little bit earlier. They've furnished a lot of things here, and they actually furnished the giveaway a while back. We gave away the EVH 5150 chorus pedal, and that was won by, I know I cannot pronounce the guy's name right, Gregors over in Poland, went all the way over to Poland. So that was very cool. So thank you, Jim Dunlop and MXR. I'm almost down to the very bottom of the companies. Box King, Chinese manufacturer who makes some really cool accessories. They reached out to me to demo a bunch of different products. Some of the products I chose not to. They make pedal boards, and I kind of passed that one on to a friend. I said, I can't do the review. I said, I have a very good working relationship with Idea Bench. I will review your power source that you have. And the funny thing is, do you see that right now? See my really cool light back there? That's the Roger Diodac Ghost Guitars. That's my custom Finding Core Wolfgang hologram light. It's being powered right now by a Box King USB power source. So I'm going to tell you more about that Diodac Ghost Guitar in just a moment. That's actually available. That's my custom Wolfgang. It's available for sale right now in our store, but it's being powered by the Box King power source. So very, very cool. Two last people. And when no one is ranked higher to lower. This is the order that I have on my list. The people at Exotic Effects, they were really nice. They provided us with the EP booster for a review demo and to keep that one. And Aljon at Kramer Guitars. I'm playing a fantastic guitar right now tonight, thanks to Aljon. I love this guitar. It has mojo like no tomorrow. Couple Kramer guitars. There's one hiding behind my. Where is it? Right? Where is it? I'm trying to point there. Wherever that 10,000 sticker is. I can't see. I can't do that. There it is. There I can do it. See, I'm pointing at the 10,000, and just above that, right about. You can make it, Eric. You can make it. There's another Kramer right there. That's a Kramer Assault 220 Plus. So thank you, Aljon. That is it for companies. Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. But wait, there's more. We can't do this all day. Vince from ShamWow. Leah at Ace Products. Ace Products is a kind of a conglomerate that owns, Pig Hog Cables, who furnished all of the guitar stands in here. We've got like 30 guitar stands in here from Pig Hog. They own coffin cases, the coffin case brand, and so many other companies as well too. So she's been great here. The staff at Generate Lighting. What you're seeing up here right now is a nice ring light. I've got more lights. Actually, I'm using most of my lights now in the video production studio, which is another room off to the side, all thanks to Generate. And lighting is key, right? As much as it's important to have this audio, it's important to have video. So thank you, Generate. Chris and the staff at Lizard Spit Guitar Products, they sent me an assortment of products to try. One, I was looking forward to the guitar polish, and I love it. I love it to death. But there's another product in there that I thought, you know what? I really don't want to try this. He sent it to me, and one of these days I'm going to try it because I feel I owe him to try it. It was a string lube product, fresh and easy. I don't like string lube. I don't like that, what do they call it? Fast fret, stuff like that. I don't like it. I hate it. I tried it one day on one of my Rosewood guitars, and what it is a bit of a string lube, but it's not greasy. You're not feeling like you just had a chicken sandwich and then a chicken leg and then jumped onto your guitar. It's fantastic. It's a product now that I cannot live without. And I'm not hyping stuff. I'm not trying to sell you on something. It's something that's absolutely amazing. So Lizard Spit, Celestion Speakers. They were working with us, and we're going to be continuing to work with us. I was doing some demos for their impulse responses for Helix and other brands as well too, and I love them to death. So we're going to get them on the show here down the road. So from Celestion over in the UK, and last but not least, Paul from Mission Engineering. Mission Engineering makes everything from expression pedals to FRFR speakers and amplifiers and all kinds of cool things, cabinets, guitar cabinets, everything. So that is the companies. I'm going to pause there, and I'm going to come back to you guys and girls because there's a lot of things I've missed here. This is very, very cool. So yeah, we left off at Les Bellin, and I know there's a million things here. Gary Holt says, I'm so stuffed. Just finished now. Rick Hefner is here. Hello, everyone. Rob M. Hi, Eric. Happy Thanksgiving. The driver. Congrats, man. Thank you. Michael Easter. Congrats on the milestone. Onward to 100,000. Thank you so very much. Good friend Jason Wade. Congrats on 10,000. EVH Gear TV. Nocturnal Butterfly. Freaking awesome. Adam EVH. Very nice to see you. Very nice. Says, hey, Eric and Nocturnal Butterfly, remember when you had 50 subs? Congrats on 10K, Eric. Thank you. I remember that too. I do remember it. And I remember even at 50 subs, I was like, man, that's a cool number, man. 50 subs. Very, very cool. And it was just as cool then. It really was. Quentin James says, you kids are good people. Thank you. RW Basis, congrats, Eric. Always look forward to your Friday nights and Sunday afternoons. Thank you. I think I'm probably going to be off this Friday night just for the sole fact that I kind of did my Friday on Tuesday with Michael Charvel. I may have a Hail Mary. We'll see. And I'm not 100% sure about Helix Hour on Sunday because I'm going to see Generation X. Going to be meeting all the guys in the band. Going to be meeting Steve Vai and Yngwie Malmsteen, Nuno Betancourt, Tos Nabasi, and who am I missing? I know I'm missing somebody. That's horrible. Let's do that again. Oh, Zach Wilde. Only Zach Wilde. Oh, geez, Zach Wilde. I'm sorry, Zach. I forgot Zach Wilde. So that's on Sunday. So if I do Helix Hour on Sunday, I might have to do it from 2 to 3 instead of 3 to 4 because I got to get out on the road and meet up with Jason Sedites, who's another credit that's coming right away. A very, very good friend of mine now, thanks to the Line 6 Helix community. So thank you very much, guys. Will Dunham. Well, you're a great inspiration to a lot of people. You're the kind of person that gives a shirt off his back, and it's very, very infectious and contagious, which works with me here. And it's like I channel your energy, and I like to funnel it onto others as well, too. You're a good dude, and I appreciate that. Gary Davlin, happy Thanksgiving. Don Campbell, thanks. Thumbs up, everybody. Well done, in my heart is with you. Jason Sedites, there he is. Dude, I love you to death. I really do. He says, hey, Eric, big congrats on the milestone. Jason Sedites, click on his channel, on his name, and go see his channel. He's just like this close to me. He's going to be there, and he's going to be surpassing me in no time. He's well respected around the planet, like literally around the planet. He's respected, and I was just so happy to find out he was a Canadian, and we practically live in each other's backyards, almost figuratively speaking, or you know what I'm saying. Very, very close. Jason and I will be taking in the show this weekend, and I might, for the very first time, if all the planets align, Carlo Santin, who I mentioned earlier, who's become a very, very good Canadian friend, who was one of our moderators, the regulars here, we might be getting to meet him as well, too. So I'm going to be thrilled. Honestly, meeting Carlo is going to be the highlight of the night, just like when I met Jason for the first time. And then it's going to be very, very cool to meet those musicians if all those cards play out as well, too. But I'm looking forward to meeting Carlo first and foremost. Awesome. Thank you, Jason. And Jason's support here on the channel is great. And I think we kind of support each other, and we talk about YouTube a lot. We talk about, mechanics, and we talk about all kinds of, all that kind of cool stuff. Like just all things that go on behind the scenes of YouTube, and we share ideas with each other, and it's really fun. Let me see here. Brad has been a long-time friend and fan and fellow Canadian. Thanks to the hard work, Nocturnal Butterfly and Eric Jr. They deserve big round of applause for sure. Let me see here. Scott Corner, Dan Bright, Eric, I sure do miss mine. Don Campbell says, gotta trust a man that loves his mom. I sure do, and thank you. I appreciate that. Nocturnal Butterfly says, thanks everyone, you rock. Les Bell and EVH for life. I'm going to play some music here for you in a minute, too. I promised you I would. I got a really good sound happening right now with my Line 6 Helix, and I really wish I could keep these darn in-ears in my head. So what I'm going to do as I talk, I'm going to pull the in-ears out, and I'm going to get ready to put my headphones on. Okay, let's try to do that. These are really cool in-ears, but I just can't keep them in my head. And everyone says, but Eric, you have such a big head. Well, they don't fit my head, so it can't be that big. All right, so let's do this. I'm going to keep talking. I'm going to put these around my neck, and I can get ready to put them on, all right? Because I want to do some guitar playing in a minute, too. Okay, I'm going to pull up my headphones. Be careful I don't screw anything up. I'll take that cord out. Be very careful. Don't have a lot of space here. And only a few people select people have been in the studio. Jason Sedites is one of them. All right, let's see if I got some audio. Let's have a look, or listen. Yeah, I can hear myself. That's cool, and I can also hear this. Nice. We'll come back to that, Matt. Beautiful. I love this. This is this kind of mood I'm in tonight. I'm in this kind of mood. Maybe we'll stay here for a minute. Let's just see what we got. Pop on one more delay on there. You want to hear some crazy stuff? Let's try some extra one. Maybe a little bit heavier. Let's see what we get with a heavier sound here. So there we go. That's enough of that silliness. Let's go back to the chat screen right. There we go. Awesome. All right. And obviously to everybody here in the chat, you are family, and we appreciate you so very, very much. If you show up here on the show, you're family, and I appreciate it. Let's continue on. Gene Hartwig says, cheers, mama's boy. Jason Sedites, hi, Don. Blimpus, okay, well, I said Finding Core is my favorite band right now. Good stuff. Thank you so very much. I appreciate that. Thank you. We'll be ordering. Nice website, Eric. That's from Gene Hartwig. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's a website I built myself. That's what I do for a living. I build websites. And sometimes you do things for yourself. And they like the mechanic. Mechanic has the car that's in the worst shape as everybody else. Well, my website's kind of like that, but I'm still proud enough of it that I'm not ashamed of it. But it needs some TLC. Thank you. Andre Laruto, I know I'm pronouncing your name right. I know you are wrong. Probably. He says, super nice 10K. Thank you very, very much. Nocturnal Butterfly, we have the best family. And I scrolled too fast. Where was that? Let me go back. Darn, I'm so bad at this chat thing. We have the best family and friends. Brags for days. She says, will do. Well done, him. I knew you could pull this off, Eric. Wonderful job indeed. I couldn't have done this without you guys. I will not take credit for this. I'm sorry. I won't take credit for it. But thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Dave Lucy, you're a stand-up guy. Rick Hefner, yeah, you're fired. Love it. Frank Corcoran is here. Gary Holt, so much going to happen in the near future. And you know what? He's got it nailed right there. I'm gonna highlight that for a second. And there's only one other person other than Nocturnal Butterfly that knows this story, and it's Jason Sedites. I shared with him. Jason and I confided with one another a lot as far as the YouTube things and what's going on in our lives. He shared some cool things with me that's coming up for him soon, which I will never spoil. Some good things for him, and I shared some good things that's happening with me. And Gary Holt happens to be friends with another Gary, and put me in touch. This guy, his name, I'm trying to think. I think his last name is this name right here. Kramer. Is that how you pronounce it? Gary Kramer. And Gary Kramer was going to come on the show as a guest on EVH and Gear TV and talk about the legacy of Kramer guitars. This is all thanks to Gary Holt. But Gary Kramer doesn't. He says, I don't know if it would be the justice for your fans of the show, like me being on a Skype cam. Why don't you and your production crew, which is basically me and Eric Jr., come and be my guests at my ranch in California, and you bring all the cameras, and you take you through like the Gary Kramer, the guitar sellers. Guitar sellers is wine seller. He has fantastic wine. He has a guitar museum. I mean, everything from Eddie Van Halen's guitars are there. Every Kramer guitar you could think of from the history. All the old aluminum necks. It's just absolutely amazing. Look up Gary Kramer Guitar Sellers. So as we go to NAMM in this January, after NAMM, we're going to arrange. Gary and I are probably going to hook up at NAMM, say hi, and we've already traded cell phone numbers and that too. So we're going to text each other at NAMM, and then we're invited to stay as guests at the estate of Gary Kramer. So we're going to put together a really, really cool documentary. It's going to be amazing. It's just absolutely breathtaking. And I was probably coming next week. It's probably next week. I didn't think I was going to be hitting 10,000 subscribers this week. I really didn't. But there's going to be possibly some Kramer wine coming here. And I don't want to say what else because there's some other small surprises that I don't want to spoil. But I'll be probably having a follow-up toast with some Gary Kramer Guitar Sellers wine. I'm looking forward to that. So Gary Holt and I have been really trying to keep this quiet for the past little bit. And I've only shared it off the record with one other person other than Sandra Lee here. And that's Jason. And he was very happy for me as well, too. It goes to show you that, when you surround yourself with good people, they don't get bummed out when you have something good happen to you. They share that with you. And he's that kind of guy. And I know you guys and girls are too. And I'm really anxious for him to be able to share some things that are coming his way. And I want to just jump on that excitement train as well. So there you go. That's going to be fantastic. Really, I mean, I have a lot to prepare for that. It's going to be cool. Excuse me. Dave Lucy says line 6 is top shelf. Helix, it sure is. I'm using the Helix rack tonight, by the way, too. Right here in my hands, I have HX Stomp, which is basically, I could get the same sound out of that. I just happen to be using Helix tonight, the Helix rack, which is right there. Very, very cool. And I've got the control, which is down right by my feet. Bobby Klepper, congrats, Eric and Nocturnal Butterfly. And I'm really glad that you guys say that. I'm really glad that you you mentioned the family too, because this isn't just for me. This is them, and probably more so because without them, I wouldn't be doing it. Home recording made easy. Congrats on 10,000 subs. Thank you so very much, my friend. Insomniac says, I have recently gotten torn between NYXL strings and the Elixir OptiWeb. I used to use Elixir a little bit back in the day, but I will honestly take the NYXLs. That's what's on this guitar. Actually, every guitar I have right now is NYXLs. I really do swear by them. I think I might even have a pack here I can show you. I might. And my second favorite would be these. I still swear by the Ernie Ball Super Slinkies. Here we go. And I'm hoping Junior doesn't watch this because he's like, Dad, do you have any more strings? I'm like, no, I don't have any left, because I didn't think I did. He wants another pack of these strings, so I got. So yeah, this is an empty pack. We'll tell Junior, but there you go, 9 to 42 NYXLs. You know, I'll give them to him. Base case, congrats on 10K, well deserved. Thank you. Medicine Man, forget 10,000. Let's go for 1 million. I appreciate that. Transactor, hey, well done, him. Eric, have you started on the book yet? A little tiny bit, yes. And I only get a chance to read a bit, and then I get pulled away. So it's going to be one of those things where I read. It's going to take me probably 6 months to go through. Will sent me a beautiful book, and I'm getting through it. But I'm a slow reader, really, really slow. It's bad that way. Nocturnal says, I definitely couldn't have done it without all of you. That's very, very true. Carlo Santin, the man of the hour, says, just got in. Congratulations, Eric. I love what you do. You have my support always. And I know that. And I mean, when I say I know that, I'm not being overconfident. I feel the support, and it means the world to me, Carlo. And I cannot wait to meet you on Sunday. Hope all the cards work out. Don Campbell, what kind of trem is on that Kramer? That would be probably, I would assume it's be the Korean Floyd Rose. But it's a real original Floyd Rose. So it's not, oops, well, I gotta be careful. Damage my headstock. I don't want to do that. It's the original Floyd Rose, and it's floating as well too. So, and it stays in tune fantastic. So, I mean, you can do really nice. Let me see, Gary Holt, Carlos, Rick Hefner, love the quality of your channel. Thank you. I appreciate that, sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Jeff Russell, looks like a Floyd. Yep. It's a real Floyd. And some Matt says, if I were to get a custom cabinet, I think I would have a 212 with a cream back and a V30 like Colin from CSG Guitars. Yeah, cream backs are fantastic. There's no doubt about that. Happy Thanksgiving to our friends, our American friends, Carlos Singh. I second that as well. Let me see here. Mike himself says, Eric, I bought Lizard Spit string cleaner. It's awesome. Saw it on your channel. And he says, thanks. Thank you as well too. It is really good, isn't it? I like the smell of it. It's really, really cool. It's clean. It takes like every kind of grime away. And then when I was talking about the fresh and easy stuff, the string lube. So what I do is, I wish I had it handy. It's over on my shelf. It looks like a bingo dabber, and you run it down each string, just basically like that, right down to almost, don't go over your pickups, each string, and you'll see the odd fret will have some drops on it. Then I just take a buffing cloth, I buff it off, and then whatever residue is left, I'll buff off the back of the neck. And it's not like it's putting all kinds of grease or like Vaseline on there. It's just any bit of residue that's left, I put the back of the neck, and just, you fly, man. Really fly on the guitar, thanks to that stuff. So you're very welcome, Mike. Don Campbell, my 84 has a Floyd from Germany. That would be killer if that Kramer has one as well. No, this won't be a German Floyd for sure. I can say that's not. Because these are made under the Epiphone umbrella over in, I guess, Asia. I don't want to say, I'm not even 100% know where. I'm assuming Korea, things like that. But this guitar plays like $1 million. You know, I know it's not a German Floyd, but if you take it off and put a German Floyd on, it'd be cool. But I've had no problem with this Floyd ever since I got it. I've had it for probably about 4 or 5 months. Base case, congrats, Eric. My other name wasn't working. Okay, no problem. Adam EVH, hello, Mike. Let me see here. I want to see if there's anything else. I know there's probably some more things. Okay, so yeah, I made a few more notes here. Okay, I'm going to continue on with my notes because this is a special night. I want to just kind of let everybody know how this all came together. So this whole concept started with an idea I had, you know, and I finally come up with a name. I was trying to think, what am I going to do? What am I going to call this? It's going to be some Eddie Van Halen talk and things like that. So I called it Eddie Van Halen EVH discussion gear, blah, blah, blah. It had this long name that was so long that it almost got truncated when you uploaded the video. And it was just basically showing people how to, people saying, oh, Eric, how do you hook up your delay pedals to your 5150? And where does the chorus go? And where does this go? I'm like, okay, well, how about I just show you? And I shot these videos and I watched a couple of them tonight. And even though that they kind of made me cringe a little bit, I was still proud of them. You know what I mean? It's not to the point where like I've come a long way, obviously. and I'm still have a long way to go as far as, you know, production quality and things like that. But I'm trying to up the game and up my own game myself, communication and things like that. I did cringe a little bit watching them, but I'm still very proud of them. And that's come such a long way from that. So went from a gear thing, a lot of gear demos and stuff like that, and then eventually got into, hey, let's interview some people. And we started interviewing a bunch of people. We'll name some names here in a minute to thank them as well too. And it's come a long way. 3 years in January, about January 16th to somewhere around between 16th and 24th, I think it is their technical anniversary. And sure, the channel is older than that, but all it was a dumping ground. It's almost like a Google Drive or a Dropbox to store videos. That's all I looked at YouTube before, was just a dumping ground to get videos off my computer before I ran out of room. It was nothing serious. In January 2014, no, not 14, 16, sorry, is when I thought, I want to get into YouTube, and I've never looked back. We'll be 3 years active this January. And like I mentioned, yeah, we just used it as a dumping ground before. And I want to thank all of my friends, like personal friends on Facebook and things like that as well too. Even friends in the local area that supported me during the band days and have carried that over to YouTube. It's a blessing. I have a special note here as well too. And I just laughed at a text message that came in. I gotta love that, from Nocturnal Butterfly. I won't repeat it. And then I mentioned Gary Holt, so we've already talked about that as well too. So I wanted to take a moment now to thank some of my YouTuber friends who've inspired me. And when I say inspired, I certainly don't mean, hey, I like where you got your logo placed, I want to do that. I mean, it inspired me to be a YouTuber. That's what I'm talking about, okay? So, and these are in no particular order, but I would need to read them so I don't forget them. And if I have forgot anybody, it's certainly not in slight. It's just because I did this fast this afternoon. A big thank you to some of my YouTuber friends that inspired me. And so we're starting off, Jason Sedites, Jay Palmer, Henning Pauli, Paul Riario from Guitar World, Steve from Boston, The Tone King, Robert Baker, Mrs. Smith, Jay's Tacos and Guitars, Will Dunham, Rob Scallon, Aaron Short, Curtis Judd and Jared Poland. And this is a funny thing because you probably a lot of you, other than Carlo Santin, may not know those names, but those are photography and audio buff guys, audio enthusiasts, and they had a huge impact on me on YouTube because I'm a photographer as well too. But they had a huge impact on me as a YouTuber. And I encourage anyone who's looking into getting into YouTube, just to Jared Poland, fronosphoto.com, and Curtis Judd. You could learn a lot from those two gentlemen, and I certainly have a lot. And so I need to thank them, even though they're not into the music world. Mark Day from Fractal Audio. Mark Day has got to be one of the most easiest looking playing guitar players. I mean, just bending just like this. It's almost like he's like, and he just fluid and doesn't even look like he's breaking a sweat. He's one of the best guitar players I know out there. And his channel has really inspired me, both with audio, visual, things like that. He's amazing. Chelsea Constable. There's I can't even begin to say how she's inspired me. I did an eruption, top 3 eruption videos in the world, and sadly I did not pick her at the time because I don't think I saw her version of eruption of the 3 people that did it the best in the world. And she's got a tutorial out there. I swear to God, if you need to learn how to play eruption, watch that. She breaks it down, from like, this is actually a step. That's like step 1. Then she goes step 4, and then she goes through every step, and it's just absolutely amazing. She's an incredible guitar player, and she's inspired me greatly too. And I think that might be it. Many, many more part of my life. I may not be mentioning them here, but only because I forgot in rushing this. So what's changed here on the show? It's almost like I feel like I'm presenting a board of directors end of year report to you guys and girls. But there's been some things that have changed, and I think I've made good changes over the years. A lot's changed, and maybe in some cases not a lot's changed. Talk show format is still very, very popular on the channel, and it's probably the most popular feature. But I've added 3 new shows, 3 specialty content programming. I started several months back, close to a year ago almost now, the Helix Hour, which focuses on all products, on all the Line 6 Helix family products, and very adventures into Yamaha, Yamaha Guitar Group, which owns the company, things like that. And it's been really wonderful. That it's brought a community to me, and me to a community that I never knew existed. And I've been treated very, very nice in that community, and I appreciate it. So that's been fun. That also opened up the door to the next program, Kramer Corner. Now that's been a slow one to launch, just because I kind of painted myself into some corners, so to speak, Kramer corners. When you're running 4 shows, it's hard enough booking one show. And I'm telling you, when I say it's hard, it's a full-time job for a person booking and staying in touch with agents and publicists who just don't care about you. And that's because they don't. They have bigger people to deal with. So now I'm dealing with that with 4 shows. But Kramer Corner, I think, is going to get a huge jolt. I mean, with 10,000 volts of electricity in its veins when I get down to California and do the documentary with Gary Kramer. I just cannot wait. That's going to be amazing. I think the Kramer Corner is going to skyrocket after that. And then, of course, my latest program I've just launched, which is, I think, probably one of the big things that's pushed us over the 10,000 subscriber mark, is Walking Dead. Walking Dead is all based on the hit TV show, The Walking Dead. Originally started as a column I used to write for the Walker Stalkers, who's now the world's largest zombies, sci-fi convention across the world, every city across the world, the big ones. I used to write for those guys and wrote the column called Walking Dead. And back in the day, when I first started doing the interviews on EVH and Gear TV, Nocturnal Butterfly, Sandra Lee says, you should do something on Walking Dead. I'm like, no, I got to stick to one thing. I can only do one show. About 4 months ago, 6 o'clock in the morning, I wake up and say, I've got this idea to do a Walking Dead show. I think it's great. You're going to bring back to life Walking Dead. And she looks at me and she laughs. I'm like, why are you laughing at me? Was my mustache on sideways, or was it drool stuck to me? What's so funny? She goes, doesn't that sound familiar? I told you that 2.5 years ago. So credit to the lady, to my better half. And Walking Dead's been pretty popular. I've only had 2 live guests as far as celebrities from The Walking Dead, but I'm looking to change that quickly. I've had Lou Temple, who played Axel in season 3 of The Walking Dead, and also Vincent M. Ward just the other night, who played Oscar just the other night as well too. So, and then I've got a lot of videos up there as well, and they're doing fairly well too. So that's what's changed, and it brings in a whole new audience. The funny thing is, Jason Sadites will share this. We talk about this. We look at our demographics. We're talking about this over lunch recently, and we're looking at our male to female ratio. Not that we're looking necessarily like we're out here to make women watch our channels. We know a lot of the people, not all, but a lot of the guitar players are men. I'm certainly not trying to be chauvinistic or anything like that, because there's girl guitar players. I just mentioned Chelsea Constable can kick my ass 7 ways from Sunday. I'm not certainly trying to undermine any female guitarists, but it is what it is. It's like I had 0.02% women watching the show. Jason, the same thing. And since I've launched Walking Dead, it's 20% women watching the show. That's from 0.02 to 20%. That's a pretty big jump. So that's going to be kind of cool. It's bringing in a new audience. And a lot of people coming over for Walking Dead or Rocking Dead are like, oh my God, I play guitar too. I didn't know you're a guitar channel. So it's talk about win-win. I love it. So now let's go over and let's say a big thank you to the guests who, without the guests on the channel, it doesn't bring drawbacks a lot of times as well either. So you guys and girls keep coming back. So I'm going to try to go through the guests as quickly as possible. Thank you so very much to these classy people, men and women: Jason Becker, Paul Gilbert, Thomas Nordag, Billy Sheehan, Paul Riario from Guitar World, Rudy Sarso, George Lopez, Derek Sherinian, Mike Portnoy, Bumblefoot, Adam Reaver, all my friends I've had on my show, including Hangouts, Ian Thornley, Robert Baker, Glenn Mazzara, Lou Temple, and Vincent M. Ward from The Walking Dead. Craig Rendles, Brad Russell, Cameron Brown, Cameron Cooper, Chris Canella, my former EVH artist, rep, and friend, Michael Charvel, Chef Brian, Chelsea Constable, Chris Robertson from Blackstone Cherry, Jeff Schroeder from Smashing Pumpkins, Courtney Cox, Nita Strauss, Jennifer Batten, Dan Alvarez, Dan Palmer, Dave Lopez, Dave Nassi, Eric Alper, Michael Sweet, Oz Fox, Ryan Bruce, otherwise known as Fluff, Greg Mara, Greg Renoff, Henning Pauley, Gary Hoey, Howie Kittleson, Warren Hughes, my late great friend, Will Ellison. Miss you, buddy. That was a tough one. Jacob Giraffes, Josh Gallagher, Jamie Humphreys, Jared Frost, Jeff Waters from Annihilator, Jay Palmer, Jim Clark, Jim Reed at Stewart Guitars, John Mulvey at 3G Guitars, Jordan Ziff, Frankie Lindia, Bill Lanero, Mark Kendall, Mitch Malloy, Mark Day, Mark Slaughter, Mark Tremonti, Mike Orlando, Mrs. Smith. Sorry, I got a tear in my eye. That's a little hard to see. Sean Silas, Riot, Jody from Pedal Snake, Rick from Idea Bench, Jeff Pilson from Dawkin and Foreigner, Eric Sands from Positive Grid, Rob Balducci, Rob Cunningham at Daddario, Rob Johnson, Rusty Cooley, Blue Saraceno, Scott Kelby, Sean Clark, Sean Tubbs, Jeff Scott Soto, Steve Lynch, Steve Stevens, Aljon Go, Phoenix Vandervaden, Rich Antonelli, Jake Murley, George Pahone Jr., Chris from J Rocket Audio, and over onto the Helix Hour side of things, Tina Guo, Paul Heinmarsh, Frank Rashad, Eric Klein, my dear friend Jason Sadites, Will and Jay from the Line 6 Podcast, Billy Sheehan, Brandon Frenzel, Glenn DeLon, Leo from Frog Leap Studios, Steve Sterlacci, JV Echo, Drew Fopp, and Chris Robertson. And that's the end of my notes. So that's good. And I did get a little emotional there for a second because I missed a good friend who was a I won't spend a lot of time on it because I'll break down a lot, but he was a role model for me as well too. And a lot of people kind of looked at him and judged him, but actually he was one of the person that would give you his shirt off his back in a minute. And unfortunately he passed away. So thank you, Will. All right, let's continue with the chat. Let me see here. Adam EVH base case. I think I mentioned that as well. Let me see here. Bobby Clipper says, have 6 pieces of Line 6 gear and growing. Very, very nice. Scott Roos. Neil Banbury's here. Congrats, Eric. Thank you. Thank you. And Jason says your videos have been helpful in figuring out my Helix. Thank you. Jason's especially. Jason is the Helix doctor. Dr. Helix, I think we should call him. And the dialing in guy. He's a guy that can dial in just about anything very, very quickly. And, but yeah, thank you. Yeah. And I thank him as well too. Well done. Him says, thank you, Eric, as always, for your kind words. We're going to probably wrap up soon. What we're looking at, we're almost an hour here. That's not too bad. Got 58 people watching. Thank you. That's awesome. Thank you so much. I'm going to cry tonight. I already have once. That was a tough one mentioning my buddy. It was. Quentin James, you Nocturnal Butterfly have so much for me, or you've done so much for me. I'll never be able to repay you. Think we never do things for repayment, buddy. You got our love, and you always will have it for sure. Medicine Man, yeehaw from Arizona. Awesome. Island Sounds. I always thought that this channel was underrated. Glad to see the growth. Lots of quality content. Keep it up. Thank you so very, very much. And sometimes it does seem frustrating. You like it would be just stagnant for a few days, and all of a sudden, poof. And you never know. You never know what's going to be popular. Like I've had some guests on here, some stellar guests, and some of the videos do great. Some just kind of just trickle under the radar. And then you do something dumb, like something totally dumb. I can't give you an example. And then it gets all kinds of views. It's like, you know what it's like. Any of you that are YouTubers and put stuff on YouTube, you never know. It's like throwing spaghetti at the wall, and a lot of it doesn't stick. And sometimes it does. When you think you're going to do something that's going to go viral, it certainly isn't. And when you do something that you think is the worst thing you've ever done, maybe it goes viral. I don't get it, but I never plan that way. I just try to do the same thing. And here's how I look at my channel. And I apply this 100% in theory here. When I used to play in bands, I had the luxury some nights for playing. Like when I was in a tribute band especially, I had one time I was playing for 7,500 people and maybe 8,000 people. And that was probably one of the biggest shows I've ever done in my life. And then I've also done shows for maybe 7 or 8 people, maybe even 2 people. And those are the people behind the bar, filling up drinks. So I always play my show. And Van Halen is a good example. You're watching the show because you like Van Halen. Van Halen did the same thing. That's how they got signed. They would play a club packed, with between 500 people and 1,200 people in a club. And the next night, if it was some kind of a weird town they were in and there was 12 people, David Lee Roth, Eddie Van Halen, Alex, and Michael Anthony running across the stage like it's like the last show on earth, and they're playing for 5 people. That's what I do on YouTube. I know there's nights where I have hardly anybody watching, and I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with that. If I have one person tuning in, and I was able to give him or her some information that maybe made their night, or was just some conversation that they needed, then I think that was a hit. I have very, very low goals. I shouldn't say that. I don't want to say it like that. I don't want to say I have low goals because that sounds bad. I look at life and I look at my YouTube channel and I look at everything I do, even with guitar playing, like I'm playing golf. I'm an amateur golfer. I haven't played in many, many years. I'm a beginner golfer. Let's make it real. But when I go to play golf, I don't go out there on the very first time to get par in my first hole. And I tried that once and I realized that it's impossible. So let's say you're going to play a hole that's a par 5. Okay. If this hole is a par 5, if I got 10 shots, if it took me 10 shots to get that hole, maybe even 12 the first time, I'd say, okay, that's cool. That's bad. But I got to the hole, I got it in 12 shots. The next time I'm going to aim for 10 or 9, maybe, right? And so just like this, I don't want to be able to play. I'm not going to get on the guitar and think I'm going to play like Yngwie Malmsteen the first time I watch a tab video, online. It's just not going to happen. Make realistic goals in your life. I'm not saying I'm going to have 1 million subscribers tomorrow, but I'm not going to put that goal out of my mind. It's there. It's certainly there, but I have realistic goals. Set realistic goals for yourself, hit them, surpass them, and make your next goal. It's like moving a little leapfrog a little bit. And that's how I look at life. So that's that's a tangent I went off. And I don't know. And Jason Sedites also says, thank you for the kind words, Eric. You got it, buddy. I'm gonna try to make this short here soon too, because I know this is a weekday still. I don't want to be keeping you guys up and girls late on a weekday. Let me see here. Let me see. I guess that was Island Sound. So yeah, talking about underrated stuff. Idiot of the Day. Congratulations, Eric. And I got to throw some congrats to him. Jeff, who runs Idiot of the Day. We go back to high school together. And it was really cool. You know, he was friends with another mutual friend of mine that him and I were music buddies. We were the two guys in the high school that were just diehard music. And we were his buddy and my buddy, Tim. But Jeff runs a really great YouTube channel that you want to talk about growth. It's one of the fastest growing channels I've seen in the community in a long time. You know, he hit 1,000 subscribers, which seems like in a month and a half, maybe 2 months. It could be a little bit longer. I don't think so. Maybe 3 months. It just went boom. And I watched it happen. And it's just like, wow, like I could learn from that. I could really learn from that. So he sent me some nice praise today, and congrats to you as well, too. I love it. Quentin James, you're a great buddy, man. And you know, it's really cool, as I like the support that you have. And, you know, I know you and Nocturnal Butterfly both have, you know, some pain management and things like that you're dealing with, and you're a good comfort for each other. And I really appreciate the fact that you reach out to her and help her through her issues, and she's doing the same for you as well, and things like that as well too. Physical pains I'm talking about. So awesome. Good to have you as a friend. We're going to continue on here as well too. So I think did I read his comment? Yeah, he says, yeah, you've done so much, never be able to repay it. You don't have to, buddy. It's all good. Adam EVH, beautiful. Thank you. Appreciate that. Gary Holt says, I love it. Let me see. Eamon Wyse, nice comment. Quentin, may not mean much to everyone else, but why wouldn't have my Wolfgang stealth if it wasn't for advice from Eric? Thank you. That's one of the nice things. I know Jason and I talk about this as well too. You know, you don't make a lot of money as a YouTuber, you know, and you certainly don't. I mean, if you're the Frog Leap Studios, sure, but not when you're like, you know, these kind of studios. But it's very, very nice, and it's sometimes worth more than money when someone comes up, you know, just like Eamon says here right now, you know, I got a guitar because you suggested it, or I bought a Helix because Jason Sedites made it sound so good. Those are nice things, and we take that to heart. We really, really do. So when you send us comments like that, sometimes if we, and when I say we, I'm not saying me and Jason, I'm talking about we as in YouTubers in general, if we don't get back to you right away, please forgive us. But that we do hold that very, very special, and it means a lot to us. We're not doing it for that. We're doing it because we love a certain thing. But if you pick it up because of us, and that's like, wow, that all that work in those videos sometimes is really worth it. Sometimes videos can be easy. A lot of times they're not. And it's very rewarding when someone says, I acted on your video and I got that. So thank you. Island Sounds has a very good question. Now that you use the Helix, do you prefer the overdrive of the Helix over your EVH amp? I'm going to be 100% honest. Yes, I do. I don't play my tube amps much anymore. It's strictly this stuff, man. I mean, I just love it. I love the Helix. That's all I play. And I could pretty much play on that one preset. That's one of my Van Halen presets. And I love it to death. I really do. It's just so simple. It sounds the same every day, every single day. Tube amps, love them to death. But here's the thing. Maybe it's not the tube amps' fault. Maybe it's our fault as guitar players, human beings, I should say, not guitar players, as human beings, because our moods change every day, whether you're in a good mood or a bad mood or whatever the case may be. Emotions change every single day. The tube amp tone isn't really going to change every day, but the way you'll approach that amplifier the next day, you're in a good mood or bad mood, it's going to reflect how you sound to that amplifier. This might sound silly, but running through something like a modeling system, it's almost like you're in a crappy mood. It's almost got a filter and it takes out the crappy mood and just makes you sound good. So maybe this is my studio magic. And I'm pointing down to a fictitious thing. I'm pointing down to a controller. I should be pointing back to the Helix back there. But it's kind of my studio magic and makes me a better player. And even if it doesn't make me a better player, it makes me feel like I'm playing okay, and it makes me want to play guitar. So I love it. But trust me, I still love EVH stuff to death. I play the EVH guitars all the time, and the amplifiers, I will fire them up once in a while. And sometimes I have the best of both worlds, no pun intended. I use both. I use the amplifier for a dry mix up the center, and Helix coming in through the left and right. So there you go. That's kind of my long answer to that one. Let me see here. I know I've got a lot to catch up on. Adam EVH, it sounds great, Eric. I might have to get on board with that Helix. Damn, in New JJ's House of Jams. Yeah, he's using that as well too. He's loving it, and I love it. Killing on the Kramer. That's from Eamon. And I'm going to show you another guitar before we wrap up tonight. I'm going to grab it right now, actually, if I can. Let me try to do this. Let me mute this for a moment because I want to take my string out, or I mean my cord out. 1 second. I want to grab my Yamaha Pacifica, which is becoming a main player for me too. Give me one brief moment. How did I do that? Maybe I won't because I'm caught up in my cord. Jeez, I made a real mess now. It's how simple is it, or how hard is it just to get off a? Here we go. Let's do this. That was much more complicated than it should have been. Much more complicated than it should have been. All right, let's see if we can get this firing up now. I feel embarrassed. All right, let's go back to my clean pad for a second. This guitar is got mojo from heck. Excuse me, pardon me. Don't mean to be sniffling on the air. There we go. Little scratchy pots, but... Okay, let's go over to the second camera here. Really nice. Try some more effects on there. A little bit of tune. A little cleaner. Put on the Van Halen style. We'll go without the phaser just so we can get some more rock. You know what? Let's go to the eruption patch because it's louder. I'll just take off the phaser in that one because I have it louder. Use a wah pedal down here. Now here's something that's really cool too. I think I have this set up. Watch this. If I have it set here, I do. This is my dirty VH patch preset I've created. Watch and I pop on my pitch to tune. Ready for this? That was bad. It's a fun guitar. There we go. Let's go back to camera chat. Let me see here. I got some really nice praise from the better half here, and which is just so nice. I love that woman to death. I really do. We love doing this YouTube stuff. And you know what? I promised a junior here too. I was going to go down to the store and get him some pop. He's got his nephew over tonight, sleeping overnight, and he wants some soda. So I'm gonna leave here soon so I can go get him some soda. And yes, I'm getting a question if I do e-commerce sites. Yes, I do e-commerce sites. I'm getting a question. So there you go. I'll just say yes because she's getting the delayed answer here about for 30 seconds after me. Let's continue down the chat. We're gonna wrap up very, very soon. This is I hope I haven't bored you. This has been a great day for the family. And after I conclude the broadcast, I'm gonna go give Nocturnal a hug again too. And I don't even know if we hugged over this one yet. We've been pretty excited about this. Is cool. Eamon says beer helix and Kramer powered eruption. Thank you. I will do this. I got to do this because I got to do this. I'm going to switch guitars one more time because I want to play you a song I'm working on, and it needs to be tuned out properly. This guitar is not tuned to the pitch I need it. So let's do this one more time, but I'm not going to screw it up this time, and I won't waste much of your time. Let's do this fast. Here goes. All right, we're almost back. Okay, bring this back. And this is a fun song. I sent this one to Jay Palmer. Speaking of, I mentioned him earlier. And I might even keep that patch on there. I gotta remember the riff now. It's very reminiscent in the style of George Lynch. I'm not a big, huge, scholar of George Lynch. I don't know his stuff. I can't play it very well. But, okay, let's try to get this. I got my mixer back, but where's the rest of it? Let's go back to... Okay, here we go. See if you can hear this, okay? try that again. So this is something I'm working on. This is gonna be my next. This is gonna be my next single. It's probably gonna be the only thing we release for a while, but I like it. So it kind of starts off what I want to do. It really in reality. Oh, I just did something. Okay. So I want to go. So what I'm trying to do there is I want something like an envelope filter. I'm using a wah to do it, but I want that riff to be the main predominant riff. And then we'll have a chunkier rhythm. And then the main guitar part goes then the lead part goes. And then there's a rhythm part changes here. So when that part's going on there, I do a little something here. Okay, and then there's another little meat or melody part that would go. Okay, let's try it with the track from it. All right, let's stop Logic. There we go. Let's minimize that. Minimize my mixer. What'd you guys think of that one? I like that one a lot. I want to finish that song. It's got a lot to it. I think I need some help from the Jay Palmers of the world though, just to help me hone it in. I'm not a good engineer, so I need some help with that. So there you go. That's all I'm going to do for jamming tonight. It's all done, but I wanted to play that one, and I'm glad I didn't forget to do it. Let me see here. I'm second when my turkey jumped back in the pan. Adam EVH in the zone. Thank you. I appreciate it. Quentin James. Let me see here. Les Bill and Nasty playing here. Thank you. This was fun to play for you today, and I like that I was in a good mood because it put me in the zone. This is awesome. Let me see here. It always looks surreal to see Eric playing. Almost strobe look to it. Thank you, Scott. Thank you. Bless you. That's very kind of you. Mr. Gary Holtz, Slow Rider is great. Better than War. Sorry. Okay, I'm going to go to the very, very end of the chat, and I'm going to come back up, and then we'll say good night. I'm going to highlight Scott Roos says, sounds cool to me. And Terry is here. Says, oh, I woke up and just made it. You made it. You're right. Blimpus says, Thanksgiving we'll call the song Eric's Yam Jam. There you go. Amber Gray is here. Nice to see you. Amber usually tunes in for the Walking Dead segment of the show, so thank you for tuning in. That's great. I hope I didn't bore you too much. There's no Walking Dead stuff tonight, but thank you for jumping in. Scott Connor, I like it. Daryl Qualls, very nice. Thank you, Daryl. Appreciate that. Here, I'm going to give you a little horse. Elephant, sorry. This is a horse. There you go. Let me see here. Mark Shields kind of sounds of Satriani's older stuff. Yeah, thank you. I dig that because I'm very inspired with that kind of stuff. I'd love to do some. Cool. I can't play much Satriani. Pacifica 529, might as well go for a soda. Nobody hurts, nobody cries. Might as well go for a soda. Kim Mitchell, Canadian boy. Nice. And Nocturnal Butterfly says the boys been yelling up a storm in there. Yeah, they're playing Minecraft. Not Minecraft. They're going to kill me for saying that. Fortnite. Eamon Wyse, you're boring, Eric. Boring us, Eric. All 10,025 of us. Thank you. Let me see. Jimmy Andrada, so awesome. Thank you. Jack Shea Martin. Hey, Eric. Congrats on 10K. And did you hear back from Eddie? No, haven't heard back from Eddie. Eddie has the questions. Eddie's had my questions for the show since March. If he ever decides to come on, he knows he has an open door. And I'll be happy to have him for sure. Let me see here. Daryl Qualls. I dig the idea of Helix, etc., but I love my stomp box. I've been at it since 1994 when I was 14 with them. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I still have a few pedals that I can never, ever part with, like my Strymon Big Sky Reverb. I love it. Sometimes I actually run it stereo in Helix. There's just some things, you just can't do without. Let me see here. Fender Guru is here. It says, sounds freaking good. Thank you so very, very much. Thank you, Amber is giving some claps. I appreciate that. Thank you. Let me see here. I think I might have got everybody. I'm pretty darn close. If I did miss anybody, I'm so sorry. Jeff Russell, when I got my 5150 stripe to me, said, oh yeah, this is a great story. Jeff Russell, I always tell people, guys and girls, don't order guitars off Amazon. You can order all kinds of things off Amazon, but don't order guitars. It's like, would you want to try on, especially for the ladies that are watching, would you rather go to a shop and try on a dress and make sure it fits you and you look good in it, or you want to order from Amazon and just take a chance it's going to show up and you're going to look good in it, if it even fits, right? Well, guitars are just as bad. You don't just order a guitar from Amazon. But Jeff ordered a Wolfgang Standard like I have here. It's I don't know if you can, kind of like those a little bit. That's a Wolfgang Special, but the same shape of that guitar, that kind of shape of the guitar. He ordered that and got the 5150 Stripe Series, which is a much more expensive guitar. So in that case, hats off to you. That was a good Amazon gamble when it comes to guitars. So he says, when I got my 5150 Stripe, it sent me to by accident. Eric responded pretty quickly. It was an accident. My favorite. You guys are all great. And I do try to do that. I do my very, very best. And I do sometimes tell people when they send me messages through, I get, a lot of different ways of contact, either a YouTube comment, which I try to be on those all the time. I really I'm giving back to the people that give their time to me. So I try to respond by comments, Facebook messages that come in through the EVH and Gear TV Facebook page. I tell people if I don't get back to you right away, please don't think I'm sledding you. I do my very, very best. And I try to get it done right away so I don't forget, because it's easy to forget sometimes and get caught up in something else. Daryl Quall says, I really dig that Yamaha. Thank you. I like it too. Let me see here. Gene Hartwig, best live show on the planet. Thank you, Gene. Thank you. Appreciate that. Don Shepard, congrats, Eric. I think I'm probably just about got everybody. Guitar Samurai, congrats, Eric. Proud to be part of the 10,000 plus subscribers. Thank you for everything you do. Thank you as well. And I know a lot of people here have been here since back in the 50s and hundreds and 1,000 subscribers. Very, very nice. Adam Power says, congrats, talented, humble, host and amazing content and guests. Continued success. Can't wait for the Kramer story. Thank you again. We're at 10:25. How about we aim for a 10:30 wrap up, and we'll let everybody go there for sure. This is fantastic. Magic of Scott, can you hook up a Helix rate to a Marshall 412? No, you cannot. Very, very good question. You do need power, right? So Helix is unpowered, so you need to run to a guitar amplifier and then to a speaker system. What a lot of people do, not everybody, but what a lot of people do with these Helixes and the Boss, GT units and the gig boards from Headrush and all those kind of things, a lot of times they run what's called a 4-cable method. So that'll allow you to run some effects to the loop of the amplifier, and then other effects to the front of the amplifier. Still use your amplifier if you want for the dirty channels and clean channels and stuff like that. And all, it's really cool. That's how a lot of people do it. But another way you could do it, if you really want to use an amp and cab and just not have a lot of stuff in between, you could run to the power amp section of your head. So the amp is basically on full blast, and you control the volume from your Helix or whatever your modeling device is, and that'll control the overall volume going to your speaker. So hopefully that's a little bit of help. Jason had to take off there a little bit. And yes, I'm looking forward to seeing Jason on Sunday, and hopefully Carlo Santin as well, as we take in the Generation Axe tour in Kitchener, Ontario. I'm really looking forward to that. I don't think I've ever seen Zach Wild. I've seen Ozzy before, but I saw Ozzy was Jakey Lee. I'm trying to think. I've seen Steve Vai before. I've seen Steve Vai with Whitesnake, and I was blown away by that. I'm trying to think. Yngwie Malmsteen, I've never seen Yngwie live. I've never seen Extreme live. And of course, I don't know much about Tosin Nabasi, other than I know he's phenomenal, but I really need to discover his music and get surrounded by it. But it's going to be a fun show. It's going to be a guitar shred fest. And it sounds like quite possibly we'll be meeting all the guys thanks to Thomas. So that's fantastic. Thomas Nordig, who's Steve Vai's guitar tech, and he was on the show. That guy's a genius, literally a genius. He reminds me so much of my dad, except if my dad had musical talent, there would be Thomas Nordig. They're both cut from the same cloth, for sure. Yes, this has been great. Oh, that's cool. Gary Holt says, should I ship my Crusader Deluxe to Eric to try out? That'd be pretty cool. I'd have to bring it back to you on the flight to NAMM, though, and I'd hate to check that guitar and have it get damaged. So Pacifica is asking, sweet guitar, what pickups? And if it was the Yamaha that I was playing a moment ago, those are all stock right from the factory. Those are all DiMarzios. DiMarzio humbucker. They're the special DiMarzios. I'm not sure which ones, but humbucker in the bridge, a stacked humbucker in the neck. In the middle, and then a regular humbucker in the neck. If you're talking about this one, Seymour Duncan's in this guitar. I'm not sure which one you're asking about. Excuse me, Eamon Wyse says, I haven't been to a convention in about 9 years, but going to the Heroes and Villains Walker Stalker Con in a couple of weeks. It's on my doorstep. If you get a chance, Eamon, when you're there, ask for any of the attendants. And when you see any of the attendants of volunteers and stuff, they have a lot of volunteers. Ask if you can get a word to James Fraser. James Fraser is the owner of the convention. He may or may not be there, but if he happens to be there, just say you're told to say hi from Eric, the Rocking Dead guy, and watch his face. He'll probably be shocked to hear that. But he's a good dude. He started in the same place as I did, him and his pal Eric Nordoff, who started running Walker Stalkers, a little tiny podcast, just like what I'm doing here. And they went on to international success. Fortune 500 company, all that kind of stuff. So never say never, and always shoot for the top, right? They did, and look where they are. So, and one day, who knows what could happen here as well too. In the meantime, we're gonna have lots of fun with you guys and girls. 10:29 Eastern Standard Time. It's gonna be a perfect time to wrap up. I'd like to wrap up on an even number. So you know what? Let's do this. Let's wrap it up right now. Thank you, everybody. 10,000 subscribers today. It was a dream come true. I never thought it would happen. And I'm going to stop thinking about numbers for a little bit. I'm going to start focusing on more content. Like I said, there's a video dropping tomorrow at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. It's scheduled to go for the guitar players. It's going to be some major savings on something very, very cool. So please watch for that. And more stuff to come. Just have some patience and watch our Facebook pages and all that good stuff. I hope I'm not forgetting anything. I probably am. But thank you so very, very much. You made this happen, and I won't forget it. I will never forget it, and I promise to work very hard to keep you guys and girls as subscribers. It means the world to me and means a lot to my family. So everyone, enjoy your Thanksgiving. Enjoy the time with your family. Relax and have some fun. And put your phones down for a little bit. Turn off work if you can. Get away from the stress and just have some good quality time with your family, and it'll do you all a world of good. And come on back and hang out and have some fun here on the channel as well too. Thank you very, very much. And until next time, cheers.
Hey, you're still here? Eric Jr. here, reminding you to check out our full lineup of quality merch. Available right now in the Broadstash Boutique. Quality products and fast shipping. Visit broadstash.com today.
I am now on Patreon. If you enjoy my content and wish to support my channel and what I do, then please check out my Patreon page at patreon.com/EVH Gear TV. Your support assures the continued growth of this channel and a fun community in which to share our love for Van Halen, music gear, and much more.
My name is Eric, and I'm playing Wolfgang guitar.
Video production services provided by Design 39 Media. Visit design39media.com for all your website, photography, and video production needs. Microphones for EVH and Gear TV are provided by Rode Microphones, and official Van Halen merchandise is provided by vanhalenstore.com.